Alright, so moving on to our next Patreon request, and this one comes from Cyborg19.99, who asked me to do a hero-villain mashup. As always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon where you guys can hit the 3rd tier, and that'll allow you access to do so, as well as check out all the other stuff on Patreon from the other tiers. Like I've been saying, I've been doing episode reviews of both Agatha All Along and The Penguin. So if you guys want to check those out and see my thoughts on those, just hit the link below in the description and do so. Other than that, hope you all enjoy this, and let's get started. So for those of you who don't know, any new subscribers on here who don't know what Hero Villain Mashup is, Hero Villain Mashup is where I take a basically a hero, or in this case a team of heroes, and basically talk about what would it be like if these characters were what if these characters were on this villain's enemies, or this villain was in their rogues gallery. So that's the genuine idea of all of this. Anyway, so let's get started. As you can see, it is the Guardians of the Galaxy and Darkseid. So let's get started. So what would it be like if the Guardians of the Galaxy had to face Darkseid? This isn't a fight video also. Just kind of talk about what would it be like. So the big thing is, the Guardians for this lineup, we're going to go with the Marvel team-up, which is basically the MCU team-up at this point. I don't know what they're doing with Guardians now that, the popularity has kind of died down with them. I haven't seen anything since the Jackson Lanning and Colin Kelly run ended. So I don't know what they're doing with Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if they're going to, bring it back into a new form. I have heard, actually, now that I think about it, I have heard that what's going on is that the Jean Grey title is going to build up to a new Guardians of the Galaxy team. So we'll see how that plays out. Anyway, so we're going to, for sake of argument, we're just going to use the comic book team that is basically the MCU team. So so having the Guardians as an enemy of Darkseid, you may say right from the get-go, well, they fought Thanos, this shouldn't be too hard. That's where I think I disagree, because what this is that Thanos and Darkseid may be kind of the same character, but at the same time they're vastly different. Thanos is a demigod who is capable of great things on his own. Darkseid's the embodiment of evil and a god that is the Darkseid you see. Yeah, that's not even his final form. That's just an avatar he uses. The real Darkseid is like this eldritch nightmare. So they are not, to quote the Gus Fring meme, we are not the same. But yeah. So Darkseid is a whole other entity. I could totally imagine Star-Lord and the rest of them trying to face Darkseid head-on, and Darkseid's just bah! I don't even think he would use his Omega beams. I think he would just alright, I'll kill you clean. And just crack his knuckles and just proceed to hammer them down. The other major thing that you have to take into account is that when you're fighting Darkseid, you're not just fighting Darkseid. You're fighting everything behind him as well. I'm talking Granny Goodness and the Female Furies. I'm talking Darkseid and all of his horrible machinations. I'm talking Calabac, Mantis, Steppenwolf, the endless legions of the parademons. You are facing everything. You are fighting everything and anything all at once, and it's all coming down on you, and it's gonna fuck your day up, is what I'm saying. You are going to have a bad time facing Darkseid. Now, the Guardians, like I said, have faced a lot of cosmic entities, again, Thanos, Galactus, all of these characters, and they have their own unique way of fighting these opponents. But having said that, though, Darkseid is on another level of just pure evil that you just cannot comprehend. It takes even the Justice League, who some of them are on a godlike level on their own right, are yeah, we don't want to fight Darkseid in a head-on fight. And if Darkseid doesn't even consider you a threat, he's just going to Omega Beam you. And if you annoy him enough, which I imagine Peter Quill will probably annoy him enough, I could probably see is that he would just Omega sanction Peter Quill. And that's sometimes a worse death. Just ask Batman. So that's kind of a big deal. in this series, in this scenario, is that you may be thinking, oh, the Guardians have faced Thanos, and Darkseid is just DC Thanos. Everything will be all right. No. No, it will not be all right, because Thanos is just on another level of divinity that Darkseid's on another level of divinity, and Thanos, I'm getting them tied up myself, is not. So the Guardians could probably have a lot of they could come up with a bunch of plans and whatnot, but they just aren't on the same level to they can fight Thanos and put up a fight against him. Darkseid, they're just outclassed, and like I said, when you're facing Darkseid, you're facing everything that comes with him, and he's got way more forces and mind-bending weaponry that the Guardians just aren't prepared for. So yeah, if the Guardians of the Galaxy had to face Darkseid, they're in for a bad time, is what I'm saying. So there you go, guys. That's pretty much my 2 cents on the matter. But you guys tell me in the comments below. What do you think it would be like if the Guardians of the Galaxy had to face Darkseid? Just comment below, let me know. Once again, I'd like to thank Cyborg19.99 for this Patreon request, as well as their continued patronage. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.